Everybody's been raising concerns over the last few days about this rain. It's constantly rained all the way through July, which is definitely not normal. And I think it was Donna that mentioned containers are constantly getting sodden, and will them plants be alright? As long as those containers have got really good drainage, they should be okay. It's not good for your plants to be constantly wet through, but there's nothing you can do about it if that's the weather we're going to keep getting. As far as I can see, by the end of the month there's not going to be as much rain, so hopefully between now and then it won't do that much damage. So once again this year we just have to make best of a bad job. I've never known it rain so much in July. I received another donation over the weekend as well, which I'm really grateful for, and that came from Henry Isaacs. As I always say, the money goes straight back into this channel to help pay for things like compost and fertiliser. So we'll get something done with that over the next few days. So thank you very much for that, Henry. It's really generous of you. It's Monday morning again, and obviously the weather is no different to what it's been over the last few weeks. And I've just spent all this weekend blanching and freezing lots of different things. So we've got bags and bags of stuff in that freezer ready for autumn when there's not going to be as much fresh stuff available to us. We've got bags and bags of peas, carrots chopped into nice little chunks, and I've also done up potatoes. So we've got bags of roast potato sized chunks of potato, which obviously once defrosted will double up as mashed potatoes depending what you want to do with them. But I have noticed that the potato plants outside are starting to look a bit yellow. To be fair, we are coming up on the end of July, so second earlies should be getting harvested around about that time. But these plants have looked yellow for quite a few weeks, and overwatering causes your plants to go yellow. They're either ready to harvest or they've had too much water over the last few weeks. But either way, when your plants start to look a little bit tired, especially with them being potatoes, I like to harvest them. I don't want to think that these plants aren't growing those tubers anymore and your potatoes that you've already got are just sat in soggy compost for weeks on end, because you could run risk of rotting your potatoes. So it's just a case of what you want to do personally. You could just leave them and hope that they don't rot and they grow a little bit bigger, or you could just harvest them and accept the fact that this year we might all be getting slightly smaller potatoes than we used to. So maybe it's time that we emptied another potato container and see what we get out of this one. So I'm going to pop outside and select another potato container to empty this morning. And just before we do that, I'll just show you something else that's happening in the garden. So if we just go over this way, past all these random plants, to that compost heap that we've made. We've got a potato plant, it's growing in there, a volunteer one, but it is flowering, and it's a pretty good size as well. So obviously there's a potato bin buried under all this compost, so rather than pull it out, I decided to leave it. Maybe we'll get some bonus potatoes out of this. But we've got as main potato containers over here. Some look alright, some not so good, but as we've already said, they're constantly getting drowned. This one has all gone yellow, and again foliage dying back. So I think I'm going to empty this one, and I think that's about a 30 litre container. So we might as well have a look and see if we can get us send some more potatoes this week. I don't think this is going to grow anymore. So since we all like potato reveals, that's what we'll do this Monday morning. So another one for a reveal this morning. But I was concerned about the weight of this container. It's really heavy. So this compost must be really sodden. And I know this container's got good drainage because it's got really big holes in the bottom of it. And I can see there's a bit of root trying to grow out at the bottom. So fingers crossed we've got something decent in this container. There's only one way to find out. Well, straight away I notice quite a few woodlice again, and we've got slugs in the bottom of this container, and they're just going to eat their way through your potatoes. But we have got one potato, although it's a very funny shape, It's gone flat. Very strange. But this soil is definitely too wet. Let's dig in and see what we've got. I can already see quite a lot of small potatoes. Having said that, there does seem to be quite a few. It's not a bad size. That's a good size one. I can't see a label though, so hang on a minute. There we go. There is a label. Nicola, second earlies. At least that's answered that question for us. Lots of really small potatoes in here though. Just tiny little things like that. Well, at least we're getting something out of this. Just keep digging through. That's more like it. Brilliant. So Nicola is a second early. Get rid of some of this compost. Be able to see a little bit better, but I think that might be it. Not a bad result from a small container. We have got quite a few potatoes in there. And we've also got some quite big ones as well. So we've got a mixture there of chipping potatoes or little salad potatoes. I'm going to give them a quick wash because they have got quite a lot of mud on them. And then we'll get them weighed and see what we got. And now I've given them a quick wash, you can see that they're really nice, clean, undamaged potatoes. No scab or anything. So let's get them weighed. That's 3 of his biggest ones. I'll take those all day. Because these skins aren't damaged in any way, that means we can just give them a quick scrub and then boil those little potatoes all. So that's brilliant. Nothing's going to go to waste. So we'll get these scales on. Put them on 0 and set them to pounds. And we'll have a look at what we got this time. Not bad at all. 2.76 pound of potatoes. There you go. 2.76 pound of potatoes. Well, I'm pleased with that result. Not only way over £2 of potatoes this time, but we've got some good sized ones. But more importantly, every single potato is nice and undamaged. So we can just get those boiled up and eaten as part of a, dare I say it, salad. So now we're looking forward to seeing what's in that other container, because that's a 42 litre container. So it's twice the size of the one we've just harvested, and it has got Nicola potatoes in as well. And at the moment they're as longest standing potatoes, and they're just coming up on 19 weeks. And normally you can harvest second earlies after about 17 weeks. To start back up on potatoes this week, maybe we'll have a look at that one. If you're interested in seeing what we might get out of that container, please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and I'll see you next time. Take care.